There are nearly 500 million connected medical devices and clinical assets installed in hospitals globally. In the U.S. alone, healthcare facilities account for 4 in 10 attacks and $4 billion in losses from ransomware and breaches. That's because hackers, whether lone criminals, nation-state attackers, or malicious insiders, know that hospitals are particularly vulnerable, and that their protected health information, like medical records, accounting data, and health insurance details, fetch a high price on the dark web, going for as much as $1,000 per record. Today, this hacker, Andre, has his eyes on the hospital's PHI data, all located in the hospital's data center. What stands in the way between Andre and his target? After some basic web-int techniques, Andre gathers a list of staff emails for phishing attempts, the most common attack on healthcare systems today. If his phishing attempt is successful, Andre will gain access to one of the employee's computers or mobile devices to try to deploy malware, which would open more doors in his path to the data center. Andre's first email attempt is automatically sent to a spam folder, so he uses a more sophisticated strategy to bypass spam filters and adds a malicious attachment, which is blocked from running by basic antivirus software. Finally, he tries sending out a link disguised as a new scheduling program, but this facility is equipped with Endpoint Detection and Response, or EDR security, which detects the link and flags it for suspicious activity. So for Andre, it's back to the drawing board. He knows that most unmanaged devices such as IoT, building control systems, and medical devices are easy targets. That's because they tend to be unpatched, run old software, and lack sufficient endpoint protection tools, and sometimes even configured with default passwords. So he searches for open IP addresses registered to the hospital and finds the DVR of the security camera, which is exposed to the internet in order to archive footage and view remotely. Andre has finally found a path to get his foot in the door. He can now examine the device for open ports and find which services are exposed. Once he finds an open service that's unpatched, he can search for vulnerabilities, which allow him to interrogate the device itself to root out default credentials like passwords and backup scripts. Andre can then check for a lateral move from the DVR to the internal network and get himself within striking distance of the exposed records inside. How could this facility have stopped Andre's breach? The first step in a solid risk mitigation plan is understanding what you have and what could be at risk. You'll also need a way to automatically detect any abnormal communication between device families and block this type of communication in advance. Lastly, keep staffers vigilant to ensure they spot and report any suspicious third parties who might tamper with connected devices and create other exposures. To learn more about how to protect your patients and facility, go to forescout.com.